The day before you take over a company, it's working. The day after you close, it's still working, but now you're at the helm. Your first job is to keep it working. Stuff will be coming at you fast, but since you're new, you don't always know what's really important and what's merely urgent. That brings us to your second job, to learn what keeps the company working. You have to do this before you can start on your third job, which is to make it work better. That's your ultimate goal. The After the Close program helps you see how all the moving parts of a company fit together. It helps you organize your learning and prioritize your activities. We use a number of tools to help you do this. Let me show you a couple. The first is this model of the components of a healthy company. Everything that happens in every company fits somewhere in this model, from how you engage with prospects, how you deliver what your customers pay for, to how you track the money, build a team, and ultimately how you grow the company. One of the other tools I'll give you in the program is the DAMS rubric. It's a way to know which of those components are being produced by experts, what I call grandma in the kitchen with no recipe. I mean no disrespect. They make great food, but their process isn't scalable. In fact, it's fragile. Robust processes, on the other hand, are DAMs. They're documented, they have someone accountable, they have success metrics, and they're subdivided properly for lowest cost and maximum growth potential. This concept of robustness is also useful before you close, so I've created a mini program for you after you've signed an LOI and are still in due diligence. At that point, you and your team are analyzing the numbers. But it's useful to know how those numbers are produced, which ones come from people operating a robust system, and which are produced by intuitive experts, aka grandmas. But since you usually can't meet with employees before you close, you're kind of in the dark about how robust and scalable the company you're looking to buy really is. Before the close, I can't give you a complete answer, but what I can do is give you some questions to ask the seller and some ways to interpret the answers you get to help you see behind the curtain, so to speak. Before the close is a very short program. We'll meet just 2 times. In the initial call, we'll design a checklist of questions to ask the seller, and we'll talk about what you should be looking for. This is based on the size, scale, and industry of the company you're looking at and your goals. We'll put those questions into a customized workbook to record the answers you'll be getting from the seller and build a picture of how the numbers are produced. Then we'll talk again a few weeks later to review the answers you've gotten and consider what you should do next. Before the close is for after you've signed an LOI and are still in due diligence. Once your diligence is complete and you've closed, you might want to enroll in the full-blown After the Close program. This program uses the same framework I use with coaching clients who've been in the CEO seat for a while, but it adds the structure of the components model I mentioned earlier, along with the DAMS rubric and many other CEO tools, plus a workbook to organize your learning. In this program, we'll talk as often as you need for as long as you need, and each call will end with action items that you'll accomplish before our next call. Based on the complexity of those action items and what else you've got going on, we decide when it makes sense to talk next. It could be in a couple of days or it might be a couple of weeks. It's flexible to what you need. And there's a flat fee per calendar quarter, no matter how often we talk. At the end of the quarter, we'll do it again as long as we both feel like it's being useful to you. There's no long-term commitment. If either of these programs sound interesting, you should know that I don't work with anyone until we've had an introductory session and we both agree we're a good fit. That session is free and you can sign up here. I look forward to hearing from you.